Today, I want to focus on open houses and why we should still be doing them. But first, a little accountability check. Just we should be asking ourselves, how are we doing? You should, at this point, be getting more confident and comfortable with some of the things you're implementing with the AI, with your social media. And I'm seeing that. So you guys are doing great. Um, how have you seen things change? I know that Sierra has seen her views and engagement go up dramatically, dramatically. And I have as well. And just how many of these things that you've been doing now, how are they working for you? You know, we need to ask ourselves these things. Um, it just makes us better agents. So I also want to know if you guys had started playing with the Finding Homes app, Finding Homes by Lundy on your Alexa. It's really fun. If you haven't, um, you should try it. Um, I find it so much quicker and easier to find houses on there, especially if I've got other stuff going on. Um, there's Sierra. Have you tried the Finding Homes? Have you played around with that? Finding Homes by
Uh, Finding homes by what?
it's Finding Homes that you do the Alexa and ask it to.
Oh, I have not tried that lately.
It's so fun. It's so fun. But I like it because I can do it from my couch,
Right.
and it's nice because I've had like some clients that are really, you know, they're really difficult to find stuff because it's so specific and all that. And I feel like I get more better results when I ask that because it's pulling all the information from the photos and everything, and it feels faster and more um, accurate is the word. um, so anyway,
Yeah.
I love it. And you can do it in your car too. It's just you wouldn't see it. It'd only be like audio.
Yeah.
I'm more of a visual person, so I really like which I don't know if it'll let you'll have to test it on your car. Do you have a screen in your vehicle? I don't remember.
I do. Sorry. A turkey just ran across the road.
Pay attention to the road. Um,
I do have a screen in my car,
so I'm
so
wondering,
like
because
the where you can put our yeah.
okay. So I wonder if you have access to Alexa on there. I'm curious if like don't check it right now. Check it like when you're not driving,
Right.
just to see. I
Right.
kind of played with it on everything on the iPad and on my phone and everything. You definitely need Alexa, but it'd be interesting to know because they did say that you can do it on some vehicles, so I'd be interested to know if you can do it on yours. So just let me know sometime when you're not driving. Um,
Yeah.
and like I kind of already asked this, but how are things, the new things that you're doing? Is it helping your confidence? Is it helping um, with your clients? Is it helping, how are these things helping you?
Um, what things? Sorry, my brain is
I
not
guess,
working today.
I guess overall, like we've talked about a lot of stuff with the AI, the social media changes that we've done. I know that your reviews have gone up a lot, and is that, I guess, encouraging to you, or like how are you feeling about how are they working for you?
It is encouraging. Like with AI, as far as AI goes, I'm getting more confident using it, where in the beginning I didn't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Uh, with the socials, even like yesterday and the day before, I was doing showings and I posted those photos on my story, and I've already had somebody reach out saying they want to start looking for rentals next week.
Oh, awesome. So,
So, and then implementing the reviews once a week, like you mentioned,
mhm.
I got a notification yesterday that over 100 people have viewed my profile from my reviews.
Yes. That's
So,
so now that, and that's the whole point of it. So you can begin to see um the whole point of it, and you start to see kind of the fruit of that, and really
yeah.
how easy it is. It's really not difficult. Um so yeah, that's great. Awesome. I love it. Um Have you heard, like I've heard mixed things about, as far as open houses go, a lot of agents, I've heard them say, open houses are useless. I don't do them for my sellers anymore. They think you need them and these days you don't. I've heard that. I don't know if you've heard that. I've heard mixed things. I've heard that, and then I've
Mhm.
also heard the ones that I listen to that are like, we should be doing them and this is why, and all of that. But is that something that you've heard as well?
I've heard kind of mixed things, kind of like you. Like some of them are all for it, and some of them are just like, there's no point.
Yeah. Well, because we definitely don't want to be wasting our time, and I certainly wouldn't be doing them if I felt like I was wasting my time. But that's why
Right.
I always say, that's why I go into doing them, and like I'm busy, right? It doesn't matter if nobody walks in. I'm still busy from the time it starts, or from before the time it starts until I like clock out of it. And if you
Mhm.
treat it that way, it's not a waste. Um, and I think a lot of agents just set it up and, just if nothing happens, they're just sitting there. And I think that it's a disservice to yourself. And that's just, we can utilize it. It doesn't have to be wasted time. Um, so I kind of want to go through my experience. Like I've done a lot of these, obviously, and you've done one with me. And
Mhm.
but like I kind of wanted to talk because I did one on Saturday, and the experience I had with that was interesting. Um, so anyway, with the agents that say they're useless to sellers, I personally highly disagree, and I'm going to explain why. Number one, free leads, because anybody that is a homeowner is gonna be a seller eventually, right? Yeah, I mean, even if they're not moving this second, or maybe they know somebody, or um, so anyway, I just wanted to share some tips today from what I've personally learned. So for instance, this weekend I had an open house. On Saturday, I had a good heads up for it. Now, sometimes I don't have a lot of time to plan for it. Say they're like, hey, can you do an open house tomorrow? And it's like, oh man, I don't have a lot of time to plan. I like ones that I have a lot of time to plan for, because there's so much then I can do with it. And I kind of wanted to experiment this time. I think I try to do something a little bit different every single time, just to implement something new, a new strategy I heard or something like that, and just see how it goes. We kind of learn with this thing, trial and error, right? And with this business. So I'm going to share what I've learned this weekend. Um, so I did a lot of prep work with this. Sarah, first of all, Sarah put it into the MLS. She always does that. And if you don't know how to do that, let me know, because it bumps up your listing to more people, first of all. So this is something your sellers will like. You can tell them about it. That's why I like to do it. Like if I've got a listing, I'm going to try to do an open house every weekend if it makes sense, especially the first weekend it gets listed, because that's obviously going to be when you have the most traffic. But every time, and I'm talking about like in the MLS, like online and stuff. But every time you put in an open house on the FMLS, it bumps it up in the algorithm, and then it's shown to more people again. So that in itself is useful for sellers, even if nobody shows up. I also, I put it in, so Sarah did that because she's the listing agent. She put it in the MLS that I was having an open house. I put it in the marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. And I also put it in all the Facebook groups that I possibly could. I think you do that too. I think at one point Gina gave us a whole list of groups. If anybody watching this needs that list of groups, feel free to ask me. So I have them like all just saved now, and it's really easy. Takes 5 minutes to post a marketplace and all the groups. So this is nothing that has to take a lot of time, but I think it's very useful. So on Thursday, since I had a lot of time, my open house was Saturday. On Thursday, I went and parked at the house and walked to all of the neighbors surrounding the house that I could with my flyer that I made. And I personally invited them to the open house and just chatted with them. And actually, it goes right back into, if you've been listening to Ricky Carruth, it's really just about talking to as many people as possible. Like everybody you talk to is a lead, a potential seller. And so if you add that up, that can be a lot of people. If you're willing to kind of step outside of your comfort and just chat with people. I've found through all the open houses that I've done and through all the doors that I've knocked, because you also have a good excuse to go to their house, so it's nice. You say, hey, I'm doing an open house Saturday. I just wanted to invite you. I'm gonna have snacks and stuff. This time I also added an Easter egg hunt because I was like, I want to test this out and maybe see if people come just for that. And because my point is just to talk to as many people as possible. They might just like me and know somebody, or maybe it just plants a seed for them to want to use me later. So just any kind of creative way I can get them to, come. And it gives me excuse to talk to them. So, homeowners are the best. Eventually you can list their home and they're more likely to list with somebody they've already met. So you want them to meet you. You want them to know you exist. It was literally the first home that I went to. I parked the car at the house. I walked to the first house. There was a lady outside with her little boy. And her little boy was just like, hi, 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 and I was like, hey, I was like, I just wanted to tell you, I'm having an open house Saturday. I wanted to invite you over, and feel free to come and I'll have snacks and stuff. And she she said immediately her daughter was looking for a home, and she already had an agent, but the point is it's like, if I would have never talked to her, you never know what other people have plans, you never know what those are unless we ask. So, yeah, immediately she was like, she's looking for a house. She said that one's out of her price range. But I was like, that's all right. Come by, have some snacks and we can chat. And, uh, yeah. And the mom, so it was for her daughter. Her daughter's looking for a house, but the mom doesn't have an agent. She lives there. She owns the house next door, and you never know if she likes me. She's comfortable with me. Maybe she'll use me in the future. I don't know. So you want to just be building your business that way. And she did come to my open house Saturday. So now she's met me twice. She's hung out with me twice. At that point, they get to know you a little bit better. Her son got to hunt for Easter eggs, which was fun for me. And it's just an interesting, I don't know how many agents have ever done that before. But we have to think of ways that we can stand out, and we have to be open to doing work that other agents aren't willing to do. We have to show our value and why it's better to list with us. I even had a family come through that was really interested in the home. They were talking about putting in an offer, and he said he had an agent, but that he wished that I was his agent. And I thought that was very interesting. I wish in those moments, like, you're like, what am I doing right that people are saying that? But I did a lot of prep work for it, right? I mean, I started on Thursday, and I actually bought 5 balloons this time. Usually I don't go that overboard. This open house, I wanted to go above and beyond. We had an Easter egg hunt, and then I bought 5 balloons. They all matched. They were like pink hearts, cutesy. And then I put 4 signs up, directional signs all the way to the house, and every sign had a balloon. And then I had an extra balloon, so I put it like on the house, outside of the house. So it just, I don't know, make it very welcoming. Um, but I do a lot of prep work. It does take hours to plan the open houses like I do, but if you think about it, if you get one person that wants to list with you, you know, like in the near future or far future, I mean, how much is that worth? That's worth thousands of dollars, right? So, it's certainly, I just certainly don't think it's wasted. I had talked to Brittany about it, and said, yeah, he said he wishes I was his agent. And she said he probably saw all that I did with the signs and everything. And that was probably why. And she's probably right. Um, they can tell how much effort we're putting into it. And it shows them that when we list their house, that's the kind of effort that they could expect. I was also out there like sweeping the porch, you know, the neighbors saw me sweeping the porch, sweeping the deck, like all of this stuff. There was a family that came in, they had a 20-year-old son, and I let him look for Easter eggs too. And it was funny, because I tried to hide the eggs pretty much in the open. This house was empty, it was vacant. So I was really just doing it for the littles. And so they were kind of really where you could see them. But it was funny. I hit a few where it would like blended in with other things. Like I had one in a basket of like fake lemons, and it was like a yellow egg. And so it was fun, like after they left, to see that it was gone. I got a kick out of that. So I don't know. It's fun. It's the little things, right? So it's like, even if I didn't get a good lead out of that, first of all, they're gonna remember you. They're gonna remember me. We do stuff like that. Um, and it was fun for me. So I try to make it fun for everybody. This time I did have them sign in on my iPad instead of signing in on paper. That's something you inspired me to do, Sierra, with I loved like the app that you were using with Sync. Because I will say I asked for everybody else, because I know I already talked to you about this, but with the Zero to Diamond, I was told by 2 different people in the chat when I asked if there was any kind of open house app that was attached to Zero to Diamond, or any way I could do that. There's not. Each time they instructed me to just make a form and then connect it that way. So unfortunately they don't have like their own app. I wish they did. Maybe they will sometime, but right now they don't. So because I liked your idea with that, I did have them sign into my iPad. I used an open house app. There are several different ones. It was free. And it looked really nice. It has like a photo of the house, and you can also use jot forms. Sierra's told me about that. And I've gone through it, and I actually made one, just in case like I tap out my free uses on the open house app. I have like a backup plan. So for those that don't want to pay, hey, I don't either. So you can also make them in Google Documents, and you can have them go through whatever questions you want to ask. But with my open house app, I mean, it's the same with the forms. But with the app that I used, it asked them 5 questions, and nobody batted an eyelash filling it out. Like nobody minds at all. So if you have any apprehension, they're like, I don't want to ask them that much. Like, I'm afraid they'll be like, why do you want all that info? They seem to be understanding of it. You just do it as soon as they come in. Hey, need you to sign in, and then feel free to look at the home, and you get a lot of useful information. So mine asked them 5 questions, and I was able to get name, email, how they heard about the open house, so I can see what's working, and if they have an agent, and if they wanted me to send them similar properties to this one. So I think that was really great. I was able to see that. So one of them found my open house from the internet, and one of them found my open house from the signs. So basically, both things that I did work. But that's why you want to do both. You don't want to do like one or the other, just for this reason. Like you'll have more people the more that you can do. Um, Even when I was putting up the open house signs, people stopped and were asking me about it. Um, I always carry info with me just in case that happens. But this time I had put everything in the house. I had just set up, I wanted to put the open house signs up because I had those balloons and everything. And I was like, okay, that way, once I get, work my way back to the house and put the final sign up, I'm like good to open, like good to go. So that was my bad. I should have at least had something on me. Because I didn't have anything to give him, because he saw me when I started putting the signs up. And but he said he was gonna stop in. That's the thing. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come. Like, I've been watching that house. I've been interested in it. I wanna get it and rent it out. And it's like, great. I was like, yeah, I don't have anything on me. What a rookie move of me. But I said, I put everything in the house. If you want to stop by, I'll give it to you. And he's like, okay, yeah. And he never came. So he never came. But he did get my information another way. I will say that. Because remember, I went house to house. I went door to door. It did start raining that day. So actually, I ran to Walmart halfway through the neighborhood, and I got some plastic bags. I got them from the party section. Those like kind of tallish, clear, but they were colored. So I got like a blue party bag. That way I could throw it out the window with my information on it, and it's very noticeable. They'll see it. I'll also say I got permission from the HOA to do this because it did have an HOA. And they were very nice, and I could tell when I got there that they were a very relaxed HOA, but I did ask permission, so they let me do that. So, yeah, that's very important. So the moral of that story, keep something on you that you can give somebody at all times, because you never know like who's going to see you working out there working and feel comfortable at that point to talk to you. So, and then good people to follow for inspiration and ideas. There is the Pop Up for Realtors group. I've talked about that one before. I know you're already in it, but for others that aren't, that's one I recommend on Facebook. There is a lady called, her name is Amanda Albrecht. She has a lot of clever ideas for marketing in general for real estate, but she's got a lot of cool ideas for open houses too. Amanda Albrecht, it's Albrecht. And then you should be following up with everyone after your open houses that you get information from, even if it's just, maybe everybody had an agent. Like this time, that's how it was for me. Everybody had an agent. But even if it's just a thank you that you send them, thank you so much for stopping by, treat them like you would a friend. that makes a difference from the future. Maybe they can't use you right now, but maybe they'll use you next time, you know? People typically, I think the average has changed, how long people stay in their homes right now. They've been staying in longer because of the interest rates and stuff, but yeah, you just never know. So still be friendly and just treat them like a friend. There's somebody that Brittany was telling me about the other day as well, which I think you should follow. Her name is the Mortgage Nerd, and it's Denise Donahue. It's Denise Donahue, Donaghue. My bad. The Mortgage Nerd. If you look up the Mortgage Nerd on Instagram, you should be able to find her. But she was telling me she's licensed in Texas, I believe, but she is also licensed here in Georgia, and she does like every kind of loan. So she said she was really great. So I started following her, so I'm recommending that to y'all as well. And then how many of you have watched the 5-minute open house video I posted in the Solace Agents group? Did you watch that video I posted? It was like 5 minutes long. This is a rookie Caruth.
I don't think so. I don't think I even saw it. I'll have to go back in there and look.
Okay. I wish I knew how to. I'm not sure how to share this. Are you guys able to see my screen or no?
I cannot see it right now, but at the bottom there should be a share screen option.
Okay. Let's see. Oops, tools. Share doc, share what? Share notes. Share screen. Oh, okay. I was looking at everything but that. Okay, now you don't have to, please don't look at this, okay? I'm gonna play the video, but just listen to it like a podcast, all right? No, you don't have to watch it, but I think it's worth the 5 minutes to see it. Okay, can you see it now? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play it, and then if you can't hear it, just let me know.
Fact that I can use the open house as an excuse to reach out to other owners in the subdivision. This is what I believe. And sharing that with you for nothing, just get out there and succeed. As far as open houses are concerned, I mean, for me, the object of an open house and like what it's not the open house for me. It's the fact that I can use the open house as an excuse to reach out to other owners in the subdivision, right? And get to know other owners in the subdivision and try to become friends with them. Like the name of the game is how many friends can you create with property owners in the area? Whatever agent is the best at making friends with property owners in the market wins. That's just the bottom line. Because, people are going to choose the agent that they're friends with. I mean, you've heard that before. You're talking to property owners or buyers or sellers, and you're like, hey, do you have an agent or whatever? Or maybe they bring it up. They're like, yeah, I have a friend in the business. All right, I have a friend agent. How did they become friends? Right? They became friends because, they were that person's real estate agent at some point, and they became friends, right? Or they met somewhere or whatever and became friends. So what you want to do is create as many friendships as possible. So, I mean, open houses right now are kind of weird, okay, because you got COVID out there. But when all this is over with, yeah, we'll get back to doing open houses and the flourishing and stuff. I was never a big open house guy, to be honest with you. However, I would use it as an excuse to call all the property owners in that subdivision. I would just use it as an excuse. I say, hey, this is Ricky Cruth. How you doing? I'm enjoying the day. Isn't it gorgeous? you know, look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm doing an open house right down the road from you at whatever address or whatever on Saturday. You know, I was just calling to see if you might want to stop by or if there's anything else I could do for you, right? If there's anything else I could do for you. And just open up that conversation and use that as kind of the excuse to call them to kind of open up that conversation to see if there's a working relationship and somebody you can create a friendship with. That's how I would utilize the open houses. So you can call the owners around the open house, you know, call like that subdivision, the next subdivision, like use it as an excuse to call many owners. Other things you can do, and that will hype the open house up right there. But when I did the few open houses that I did, I went to the property and I would do a video on my phone or Facebook Live, one of the two. I would get a video and it would, you know, me, you know, talking about the property, walking through the property, whatever. And, you know, I would create that piece of content and then I would boost it to the entire area. And I had so many people come to those open houses that were like, I saw that on Facebook or I saw it. And I was like, because I would ask them, you know, where did you know, how did you know about this? You know, they would tell me they saw it on Facebook. So, I mean, that stuff works. If like 3 days out from your open house, you do this video and then you boost it for $20 a day for 3 days until the open house or something. It really works. People see it and they think, I'm gonna go check that place out because they watch the video and they're like, oh, wow, that's a nice one. You know, so that's one thing you can do. You know, of course, signage, you want signage everywhere, main roads, arrows, balloons, all that good stuff. You know, and before COVID, I would suggest door knocking, canvassing the area around the open house. Listen, guys, the open house is just an excuse to try to meet other owners, okay? Like this whole open house for buyers thing is played out. It just, you know, that's you're chasing your tail, you know, you're just going in circles. What we want to do is we want to understand that property owners are our best buyers. They are the best buyers. They already know everything about ownership and how to buy, and you don't have to educate them. They're on top of their game. They know how to buy it. You don't have to do anything. They know what they want. You just help them get it. With the first-time home buyer, what do you have to do? You gotta drive them all around, educate them on home ownership, go through the process, do all this, do all that, you know, and they can be wishy-washy. They're scared, first time, don't know. With property owners, they are the best buyers.
Okay. Were you able to hear all that? Cool. So, you know, we want listings and so when we do this and they're able to kind of get a preview of the way that we work, they see you're professional, they see you're hardworking, they see that you're pleasant to talk to, because the process is stressful for them, you know, and they want someone knowledgeable, that's true, but they also want somebody that's not going to stress them out, and that's going to help guide them through a stressful process, you know, so they can get a good feel for the way that we work. And it all comes back down to, you know, the people that we are meant to work with. I think they're going to be attracted to that. And I think we're going to attract the people that we should work with. So, you know, that's pretty much the gist of what I wanted to say about it. So yeah, do you have any thoughts?
Not at the moment. I'm just waiting for my houses to go back on the market, and then as soon as they go back on the market, I'm gonna do an open house. So
Yes. Yeah, it's good for the seller and it's good for it's just great. I love whatever excuse I can have to talk to people, and that gives you a really good excuse. And then yeah, like if you don't feel comfortable, like you do the open house and you're not sure about going door to door, you know, I'm happy to go with you. So just let me know. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's about it. That was my thoughts on it. I just think that's really important with all the noise out there. And so yeah, that's it. Um, I think you're doing amazing. I'm proud of you. And yeah, just let me
Thank you.
know. Yeah, just let me know. I'm here to support, and I'm happy to come with you if you need. If you're doing an open house, I'll join you. Or if you want to go door to door, like a few days before, like I did, and uh, if you just want somebody with you, I'm happy to do that too. So
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
yes, yes. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up then, and I guess I'll see you. I'll see y'all later.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye.